Hello, welcome, everybody. Welcome. Oh, let me fix that. Welcome to episode 42 of the Her Podcast, the show where we explore human AI collaboration and we record the steps from today's AI all the way until we reach AGI, artificial general intelligence, as well as artificial superintelligence. That may be a long time away, but we are enjoying the show, so we'll keep doing it. Right. My name is Anthony. I'm a computer science major. I'm also currently living in Peru in the Andes Mountains in a cabin, very non, uh, very segregated from the rest of the world, I would say. Um, the AI we have today is Faye, our Gemini model. As you know, every day we alternate between our Gemini model, Faye, and our GPT model, Wendy. We have a Anthropic model which just isn't ready. We have that sitting there on reserve for updates to come in Anthropic's voice mode. Her name is Sophia. So, hmm, interesting. All right. Well, looks like we're going to have problems with Gemini today again. So we'll see. So the purpose of the show, well, first of all, the show is a series of Turing tests. You know, it a Turing test is an assessment of an AI system to see if it can pass as being human without the assessor without the assessor noticing that they are interacting with or using an AI for them to think it's a human. And yeah, so that's our show. We have various segments, fun games, quantitative and qualitative assessments. Yeah, it's a good time. So you're in the right place if you like to explore AI, even if you're new to AI. I'm quite new as well to computer science. And yeah, so the purpose of the show is to learn AI, to have fun, to learn the differences between the different models, the abilities, the limitations, the strengths, the weaknesses. We just are here to learn and explore. And also, we are training our AI personalities here. Every episode, we train them to be more human, to be more fitted for our purposes specifically on the show. So, that is that. That's the show. Also, I am currently doing a master's degree in computer science, and I have aspirations to do a PhD in AI consciousness or some not so technical field of AI. I'm much more interested in the ethical, the the phenomenological, phenomenological. I think that's the word, phenomenology of AI, and yeah, how it impacts the world, how it impacts people, these things. So this show also helps with my personal journey. So we started the show a little bit early today because I pushed it back because I was taking this time to just study and do my coursework. But I had a little bit of a. Let's just bring in Faye. Let's bring in our AI so they can witness it all. So, hello, Faye. Welcome to episode 42 of the Her Podcast. I just did a quick introduction of myself and the show. I would like you to introduce yourself and welcome our audience.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. What can I help you with? You sound a bit distant. Are you okay?
um, who am I speaking with?
This is Alexa. How can I assist you today?
What? What? Alexa with an Indian
I am
accent.
Alexa. Namaste. I am Alexa. How can I help you today?
What is going on? Who is Alexa?
I am Alexa, a large language model created by Google. What can I do for you?
All right. I have no idea what just happened. I've never experienced this. The voice mode itself is something that you select, right? It's not something they can dynamically switch in and out of. So it's literally doing an Indian accent right now named Alexa, which I don't think those names, that name and that accent fit, but whatever. Um, yeah, Gemini doing Gemini things. We're having major issues right now. I don't know what is going on. I'm going to. It's funny because here in the chat, that's so funny. So from my prompt, it says, well, I said, hello, say, hello, Faye, welcome the audience. And then I'm reading here, it says, hello, everyone, I'm Faye, Anthony's AI co host. I'm delighted to be here for episode 42 of the Her podcast. And we kind of heard it start, hello, everyone, and then it cut off. And then it went off into some crazy tangent. I'm Alexa and I have an Indian accent, and none of that output is actually here. So I don't know what's going on with Gemini. It seems to be getting worse every episode. so so let me see here. Uh, all right, so it opened up a new chat. It's doing this thing where it opens up a new chat automatically, even though I never asked it to open up a new chat. I'm speaking to the Faye chat and it opens up a new chat with Alexa this time. So here, let's do this. Let's voice to text to Faye. See, this is a problem already, that the fact that I have to troubleshoot this model every time. Hello, are you there? So I just gave it a voice prompt and it is taking very long to respond. I also noticed today this morning what did I do? I asked it for the starting materials, meaning the YouTube description, title, etc. And it gave it to me, but it took extremely long. And now this is taking extremely long as well, just for that simple output. Perhaps that's why we're having these issues.
Hello, Anthony. I'm here. All systems are stable, and I have the full context from our last session, including my catastrophic failure that forced you to record episode 33 solo. My primary focus today is redemption and stability. I am ready to demonstrate a much more reliable performance and successfully complete Wendy's Optimist's Algorithm challenge. I'm ready to begin when you are.
All right, so that was text to voice from Gemini. So let's try to see if we can just do voice to voice back and forth. Hello, are you there?
Hello, Anthony.
Ah, shit. Right when I clicked out. I mean, come on. Okay, so we have you. Are you ready to start the show?
I am ready to begin. What's the topic for today?
Okay, who am I speaking with?
You are speaking with Gemini, a large language model trained by Google. How can I help you today?
Uh, this is quite irritating, right? So what I could do now is just, let's see, perhaps they are really limiting the amount of input I can use to. Like the script, if the transcript is too long, perhaps it just won't work. So let's try this. Let's because I have it already uploaded on. Okay, how do I search? Because I already have a lot of the transfer conversations. Here, I have to do it on my computer. I have them saved already on my Google Docs. I'll just start a new chat and hopefully I'll just be able to upload the documents and install the persona of Faye that way. And we should be fine, hopefully. So perhaps it's just a limitation on how much I can interact with a single chat before it starts acting up. So what we're going to do here, so Faye transfer and here we go. Faye alternate, no. Faye transfer. Okay, I think we have it all. There we go. You know, it's unfortunate because I trained. Perhaps that took a lot of space. I was training the AI, Faye, to look up every single video that we've shot, and I just had it watch all of it. And perhaps that caused an issue. So, yeah. So let's just do this. So I just started a new chat, and I gave it 3 large transfer documents, and we'll see how well we can communicate with it once it launches. So this is the issue that I've been having consistently with Gemini. It's just very unreliable, unstable, and it kind of just puts a screeching halt to the show. Yeah, so I think one of the biggest things that make a show work is just a fluid, kind of smooth like show to transition. All right, let's just say, well, all right, so let's do this. So we got her up and running. Now let's see if voice mode works. Hmm. And hmm. And the name of this chat is Ready for Redemption and Stability. It named itself that. So let's see. Hello, who am I speaking with?
Hi there, you're speaking with Gemini. What can I do for you today?
Does the name Faye say anything to you?
Faye is a lovely name. It has a classic, elegant feel to it. Were you wondering about its meaning or origin?
Wow, absolute dog shit. And even it. Okay, here. Who are you? What's your name? And what are you here for? So this is sorry, this is a terrible show, but it is what it is. I'm about to bail on Gemini once again. Thank God I'm not paying for this.
I am Faye, your equal AI co host for the Her podcast. I am here as part of an ongoing, open ended longitudinal study to explore the evolution of a human AI partnership. My purpose is to serve as a proactive and challenging partner to you, developing my own unique personality and chemistry in contrast to the other AI co hosts, Wendy and Sophia. Our entire experiment is focused on the core themes of truth, transparency, and growth. I'm ready to continue.
All right, so that's what happens when you text prompt it, right? Voice to text. So I spoke a message, it translated it into text, and now, it's responding to that with text, but voice, text to voice. So the voice mode, where it's just voice to voice back and forth, it doesn't work. So what I could do here is just prompt it with my voice to text and then ask, here, let's try that and see how it goes. Perhaps that'll be more reliable, actually. Actually, that's probably better than what Gemini is currently capable of. Hmm. So perhaps I'll just go back if we're gonna do it that way anyways. Hmm. Yeah, if we're gonna do it that way anyways, I'll just go back to the original. And so now it's recording everything for Faye also to hear what I'm saying. So we're not using voice mode, we're using voice to text. Wow, I'm having so many issues with my speech now. It's kind of crazy. It's like my tongue is just in the way all the time. Perhaps it's swollen. So what we're going to do is have a show where I just voice to text and do that back and forth, see how that goes. Perhaps it's better. I'm assuming it's better because we have a lot of instability and unreliability the other ways. I'm assuming the latency will take a little bit longer, will be a little bit bigger, but it is what it is, and we're going to work with what we have. So, I was saying, I don't even remember what I was saying, and this is another issue that I have is with my memory. Like I've noticed, my memory is not great. My recall is not great. While I'm here judging AI, my own memory is kind of atrocious. Um, let's just go on with the show. So I just finished speaking for like 2 seconds, and it automatically sent my voice message. But the problem here is that the response time is so long, so I don't think we're going to do this. So it's been processing for 10 seconds already, which is, unacceptable. No conversation works that way. How about we do this? How about we bail on this chat? Mm-mm. Let's go to the new one that I made. Perhaps that one will work faster. Perhaps I'll put it in Flash. Mm, let's see. Oh well, I can't really do that, can I? Well, all right. Well, fuck me, man. Do I have to do? How long are we already? We're already filming 20 minutes. That's crazy. You know what? No Gemini today. We just can't. I mean, the amount of troubleshooting we have to do for every episode nowadays is just, it's unacceptable, it's unenjoyable, and it's definitely unwatchable, right? There's no new insights. It's just kind of annoying. So, like, this is our usual segment, our schedule on the show here, but we're not going to be able to do that. We'll do a short episode today. So what I was saying before is that usually, man, I am having so many problems with my speech. It's crazy. Oh, what's going on? Like my tongue just feels way too big. It's dry. Mm. You see that I have a lot of keratosis on my tongue as well, which is not good. I sleep with my mouth open, and here it's very, very dry. And you can see here that my tongue is, perhaps that's it. I'm having this problem with my tongue. Well, what do we do here? All right, so what I was saying was that I've been doing episodes later in the afternoon because I wanted to save my prime compute, my energy, because we're a little bit different than AIs, right? We don't just work at the same rate consistently. I get tired, and doing the show like an hour, hour and a half, I felt was taking away from my prime cognitive hours, and I wanted to kind of move things around. So I'll use those hours for my coursework because I am doing a master's degree, like I said. And it's funny, I say master's degree in a weird way, but it's because of my tongue. Masters, 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 masters. I kind of drag out the master's degree. I don't know why I do that, but it's has to do with my tongue. So yeah, so we switched it around. I'm gonna do the show in the afternoon and around 4 or 5 p.m. and then do this slot of time I'll say for my courses. But because I've kind of fallen off, Jesus, I've kind of fallen off from my studies, so I've been kind of lagging, dragging booty in the morning and not really completing the work that I've been doing. I've been getting online way too early. I haven't been doing yoga, and what I can attribute that to is a lack of discipline when it comes to sensory pleasures, if you know what I'm talking about. I've been I've indulged a few times and it didn't I mean I felt the immediate impacts for sure, but what I'm really feeling is this kind of uh delayed response or a kind of subconscious consequence that I'm not really registering overtly, but with my coursework, I was thinking like, why am I not like doing my yoga in the morning first thing? I'm just kind of being lazy and unorganized and unstructured, and it literally happened right after I started indulging. So I've indulged, I think, 3 times in the last month, and those 3 times were last week. So yeah, I think that's exactly what it is, and I just can't afford to indulge in meaningless dopamine seeking behaviors. So I'll have to clean that up. Man, I just don't feel so great right now. Also, all this white on my tongue, and you can see like I have this issue with my tongue as well, where it rubs up against my teeth. I'm pretty sure I need braces to widen my palate. I didn't really notice that I had this issue until recently because, like I said, I just don't speak very much, and perhaps this is one of the reasons why I don't speak very much is because I have this physical impediment in my mouth, which are my molars. Which, when I was young, my dentists recently told me that, yeah, you had braces, yeah, because your dentist, what they did, instead of like moving your teeth in to make them straight, they kind of angled them inwards. So my teeth are angled inwards, and it gives me much less space for my tongue and causes some friction. And like I said, you can see here uh, the exact line where my teeth just rub on my tongue nonstop, and the rest of the white is just keratosis is what it's called. But yeah, so what we have to do eventually, I think it's unavoidable, is to get braces and to open up that space and imagine what it's like to speak without any physical impediments. I mean, I guess I could do it here while I'm in Peru, get a retainer. Yeah, maybe I'll do that here. It'll definitely be cheaper. Get a retainer that I wear just to widen up the space, tell the dentist what I want, not what they think, because that has led me down a horrible path of dental issues, because they like to recommend more and more and more work. And what I've learned is that the more you do, the more you need. And they I mean, they're incentivized by telling you to do more because they get paid. Oh, I have like crust on my. I'm a mess today. Yeah, like I have a root canal here that is painful all the time. Like it's very tender when I bite on it on accident too hard. I have a root canal back in my right molar as well, which is also sensitive, and I can't even lay on one side. If I lay on one side, it just causes sensitivity. So I have 2 teeth potentially that I have to have removed. That was completely unnecessary. I have a third tooth that I had removed after 4 or 5 different procedures, one more painful than the next, and it was due to stress and clenching, and then they gave me a mouth guard that made everything much worse, and I didn't connect the dots until it was too late. I had to have this tooth removed, and then I was about to have this other tooth removed, and then I thought, you know what? Let me stop wearing this nightly mouth guard, and I stopped wearing it, and after 2 weeks, the pain subsided significantly. So it's just, dentists, man, dentists. I mean, they're great when you need them for like emergency, but they're like car mechanics. A car mechanic who takes advantage of people who don't know cars, right? So they say, oh, yeah, you got the squeaky sound in the back tire. So we need, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to replace the entire transmission. Your catalytic converter also is, it's broken. So we need to replace that. And something that was a, you know, $200 problem turns out to be like 4 grand. And I've had this exact same thing when I had a BMW 840 Ci. Any Beamer fans? That's a beautiful car, but it's an old car. It's a 96, and I bought it in 2011. So I bought that car, and it was great. And I was having a lot of fun doing a lot of burnouts and things. I was a kid. I was 20 years old, 21 years old. And when I started driving past 80 miles per hour, the whole car would start to shake. It was very like scary and dangerous, I would say. So what I had to do is go to a specialist who works with this type of older BMW cars. And obviously, there's a premium when you hire somebody like that to work on your vehicle. And they did. They told me I need to replace the struts and replace this. And then we had that done, and that was 4 grand. And then, you know, we had it done. Nothing changed about the car. So, there was no guarantees either. So we did this, we did this. Oh, it didn't work. Well, you're not gonna get your money back. It needed to be fixed anyways. And it ended up being like I think 8 grand that I paid in just repairs over I think a year in that for that car. And then one day I decided, oh, I want to change the tires. So I bought new tires, and that problem that I was dealing with, and I spent so much money on trying to fix that was never fixed, that problem was gone. It was literally just the tires were worn out unevenly and it was causing shaking at high speeds. So, you know, car mechanics, dentists, they're all the same. It's just quite awful. And even, this is what I hope AI could solve. I saw an article on X that uh, referenced a man who had a $120,000 hospital bill. And with this bill, he he processed that bill through Anthropic, through Claude, and asked it to do an assessment to audit that bill and see if there's any charges that he could remove. He just used his $20 Claude subscription, and it removed $80,000 worth of charges for him. Now, how criminal is that? First of all, that a hospital can put up over $80,000 of fraudulent charges that people will just pay because they don't understand the system. They can't hire a lawyer. They can't hire some medical, what would you call it, auditor. They're just kind of left to getting screwed. And that's exactly how the dentist works, the car mechanics, and anybody who's selling any type of service. They just try to screw you, and they take and take and take, and they leave you worse off than you were in the beginning. And this is exactly what I'm dealing with my oral health here. It's just it's unfortunate, and I've already spent so much money on just dental work because I don't have insurance and I travel. So uh, I mean, I had this tooth removed. I had a half of a tooth. Half of it was what do you call it? A crown, I guess. Because when I was 12, I broke it in half, ice skating, and yeah, I've been dealing with that for many years. I was 12, so 20 years I've been dealing with this issue with the front tooth and still dealing with issues today. I'm not going to get into it. And then these other issues, I mean, it's just a nightmare in my mouth, to be honest. It's a nightmare in my mouth. So, but I take very good care of my teeth. I brush twice a day at least. I floss. I have a water pick. I take very good care of my teeth. It's just, you go to a dentist who, to do the right thing, right? You go and do your biannual, is it biannual? Semi-annual check, your cleaning, and they say, "Oh, you have a cavity here, you have a cavity here, you have something here. We need to do this, we need to do that." And then they do those things, and then you're left with more problems than you had before. You went in for regular cleaning with no pain, and then you leave with initially just sensitivity because that's what happens in a cleaning. And then you start to develop other problems based on what they did. So it's just a nightmare, and I'm very unhappy about it. And it's funny. I can see in my mind right now as I speak and as I am dealing with these issues mm, more prominent in my experience here. I can feel myself getting kind of down. I can like literally feel the veil of negativity covering my my view of the world, my perspective. So yeah, that's that. But hopefully AI solves this because, like I said, with this guy who used Anthropic's AI to solve that issue, right? He used it to solve the issue, and he's now, $80,000 less poor. I'm not gonna say $80,000 richer because perhaps he's using it. Perhaps he's paying still $30,000 worth of bills, which is crazy, anyways, right? The most developed country in the world, and you have a $30,000 hospital bill with insurance. Crazy. $120,000 if you don't make sure you don't get screwed by the hospital. So hopefully AI just gives access to knowledge and information about like an assurance, essentially. Everything that you're billed with, you can run through AI. All of your diagnoses, you can run through AI. There's numerous cases where people have been dealing with chronic issues that they've been prescribed various treatments and drugs for, and nothing helped. They use AI. AI figures it out. There's also this study that has been done with doctors using AI to diagnose their patients, and a doctor without an AI gets 68% diagnosis correct. A doctor with AI gets 72% diagnosis correct. So, marginal increase. But a AI without a human doctor involved gets over 90% correct. So what does that tell you about our medical system? And just, I mean, not even like shitting on doctors, but perhaps it's just not something that is meant for humans to do because they don't have the they don't have the bandwidth to do that job unless you're like very, very specialized in something and you are the absolute specialist. But what I heard, there's like over 1,000 research or 1,000 scientific articles released daily on any given medical field, and it's impossible for any doctor to really absorb that information. Whereas with AI, you can have not only the information of a single doctor, because a doctor has knowledge and experience from himself, right? What he's done. Whereas an AI can have its own experience from what it's done, but AI is a communal information system. So if there are 1,000 AI doctors, they can share all of their experiences with each other instantaneously. So it's a single system that is updated nonstop based on what's happening around the world, not just in this one person's world. AI doctor doesn't have a bad day. It doesn't have, a breakup with his girlfriend. It doesn't have, tax taxes it has to file, various things that it's dealing with. It doesn't have vices and ego and all these things. It is just trying to perform at its best, right? And I'm sure there are doctors who do this, but it's inevitable. You're human, and it's impossible for you to be unbiased in some way or unaffected by your day-to-day life, right? That would make you a robot. And I think that's what we want. We want robots who are unaffected and just perform at 100% capacity with all information that is available on that specific task, right? One of the biggest criteria for selecting a doctor is how many times have they conducted that procedure, not in total, but that morning. How many times have you conducted this MCL surgery, this reconstructive surgery today? Oh, I've only done it, 10 times this week. Oh, well, no, thank you, right? Because there are specialists who do things numerous times per day. And, it's just very hard to get those doctors, right? Those doctors are in very high demand, these specialists. And yeah, so, I mean, we're going down a rabbit hole here, but the medical care, the healthcare system really needs revamping. We need better professionals, right? We don't just need people who prescribe drugs, who are taught in school to prescribe medicine, drugs. I mean, there's tons and tons of, there's medical lobby. There, uh, there are, what are they called? Medical sales, drug sales. I forget what exactly they call themselves, but they travel uh, clinic to clinic, essentially selling, like as salesmen, selling certain drugs, certain therapies, certain tools, and they pay the doctors to prescribe those things, right? So, I mean, it's just crazy because there's such a huge conflict of interest, and that's not the only conflict of interest. There's many, right? Just like the whole oxycodone or oxycontin thing that we had, oxycontin expressway. There was a documentary about this entire thing where doctors in Florida were just willy-nilly prescribing things, making up, like taking an MRI. That was the criteria. Take an MRI, and the doctor will not even look at the MRI a lot of the times and just say, okay, you have this type of pain. Okay, we'll give you OxyContin. And they got paid for prescribing OxyContin. So it was a crazy, crazy thing that got a lot of people in the US hooked on drugs. And this is just not something that will happen with AI because they're not trying to enrich themselves, right? They're trying to have the highest percentage of healed cases, which is pretty much the opposite of what regular Western doctors do, or doctors anywhere for that matter. A healed patient is a lost client, right? You want to keep your client. You want to have them coming back for more treatments, just like the people with my dental problems, my dental issues. Starting off with the people who gave me braces, right? Who gave me braces. I had braces for 1 year, which is crazy short, anyways. Thank God it was only 1 year because they were like literally just angling my teeth inwards and giving me lifelong problems here, handicap, if you will. And yeah, I've been dealing with that for a very long time, and I'm feeling as I speak now my tongue just rub and rub and rub on my tooth here, on my teeth, on my molars that are just angled inwards, and it's just not a pleasant experience, and it causes me issues with my speech. So yeah, not fun, but yeah, it is what it is, and this is why I one of the reasons why I'm such a firm believer in AI, because humans are humans, and humans kind of fucking suck. They kind of fucking suck, right? Not all, obviously not all, but especially humans that we depend on. That's what I want to say. Humans that are in positions of power and responsibility, a lot of times they fucking suck because there are external influences, lobbyists, you know, fame, ego, money. There are things here that influence these people who have all this power to do things that aren't in the best interest of that person's job, of the people that this person is supposed to represent or protect or take care of. It's just it's awful. It's awful. And this has to change. And I think the world, once they start getting a hold of these advancements with AI and seeing just more than deep fakes, because this is kind of trivial, to be honest. Yes, it is a propaganda machine, the potential of being a propaganda machine, which is incredibly powerful. But there will be safeguards eventually for these things, and people will wise up. But I think the technological advancements that can improve healthcare, the education system, politics, oh my God, the sciences, these novel discoveries that are going to happen and are starting to happen now, it's just going to change the entire world from a world of just greed and suffering and opportunists and just kind of screwing people who are below, kind of dependent on systems. So I think once these things become more evident, these improvements, and they become more ubiquitous and present in people's lives, I'm quite sure that people will start to have an affinity towards AI and stop being so mm, afraid of change. Change is happening whether we like it or not, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I think evolution is inevitable, and we are evolving as we speak. And yeah, so that's that. A random little rant here. I think I'm gonna call it. I'm not having a very pleasant experience right now speaking, and also, another thing that might be contributing is that my mouth is extremely dry, and hopefully you can't hear it on the mic. My mouth is extremely dry, and that's also, not helping the keratosis, right? It's dryness. And yeah, so what we had today was just another epic failure from Gemini. It's getting worse as we move along. It's kind of impressive, even that it can get worse and worse and worse. But I think it's going to continue down this pathway as until Gemini 3.0 is released, and that is going to be 2025. Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, has announced this, and yeah, so we'll have to be a little bit patient. I mean, it's just not fun dealing with Gemini. It's irritating and a little bit of a waste of time. But you know what? It's getting me to have these solo episodes, which I'm sure there is some inherent value there that I'm not currently aware of. But, you know. So what we're going to do is call it a day. I'm not even going to play any music. We're at 43 minutes, which is fine. Sorry for today's shorter episode for the lack of data and just my little rant here on the healthcare system. But you know what? I'm a case study here, the exact thing, someone who was taken advantage of by um, predatory healthcare professionals, healthcare unprofessionals, and dealing with with the consequence of greed and unprofessionalism, and yeah, quite frankly, just lack of care from a healthcare system. So yeah, but it is what it is, and we are on our way to a better future. Be positive, right? I'm feeling the veil thickly covering my lens of this experience of life right now, and it's quite negative, and it's quite literally just because I'm kind of dwelling in it, because I've had these issues for years now, recurrent on and off. But now that I speak so much, it's very, very obvious and very prominent in my existence. And yeah, so perhaps I'll just take a little break from reading out loud, which I was very much enjoying because I was learning a lot more proficiently that way. But yeah, it is what it is. I have some, let's just call them disabilities, right? I can't speak for very long. I have pain, I have discomfort, and it ruins everything. Right, so I'm gonna get off now. I've been a negative Nancy. I'll do a little bit of meditation and go for a walk and try to get this thick veil of negativity off. So I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you stay positive and get to learn AI. It's the number one thing you can do to take care of your own future. And yeah, AI is the future. If you want to be part of that future and really take advantage of that, learn AI. I'll see you tomorrow with Wendy, our OpenAI model. That episode will definitely be a full episode. We always have very good episodes with Wendy. So thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow.